Hey there, it's John from Tiny, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get started with our CMS starter config in the Tiny Cloud. So TinyMCE is used by many CMSs out there, including Shopify, Joomla, and Umbraco. So what we did was we looked at many of the CMSs that use TinyMCE, and we came up with a starter config to get you off to a good start in including TinyMCE in your CMS. It's great if you're building a new CMS from scratch, if you're upgrading your current CMS to have better rich text editing capabilities, or if you're using a third-party CMS and you want to add TinyMCE. So to get the config working in the cloud, you're going to need to sign up for an API key at tiny.cloud. You can head over to the pricing page and sign up for a free 14-day trial of our professional plan, which contains all the plugins used in the starter CMS config. Once you've signed up, you'll end up logging into your Tiny account page, and this is where your API key is. Okay, so the next step is to add TinyMCE to your app. So I have my code editor open here, and I have three files open. I have the HTML file where my CMS is. I have the starter config, which you'll be able to find a link for in the description of this video. And I also have some sample HTML, which I'm going to use to show how the editor works. So the first step is to take the code in the starter config, and I'm going to copy all that. You'll notice that there's some tips within this code. You can remove those, customize it as you want. They're just a good way to get started to understand what each of the config options do. So in my app here, I have a text area, and that's where I'm going to add TinyMCE so I can add all those rich text editing capabilities. So I'm going to go back to the starter config that I have here. I'm going to copy all the code and paste it into my app. Now, if I reload the app right now, nothing's going to happen because I haven't told TinyMCE where to apply the editor. So I just need to type in selector here. So I'm going to put in text area, and it'll be added to every text area on the page. You can use any sort of CSS selector, so you could use an ID or a class as well, whatever suits your app's needs. So now you'll see this error that the domain's not registered with TinyCloud. That's because I haven't added my API key yet. So I'm going to go back over to my account, copy the API key, and put it right here. And now it should work. Great. Now, if you're not on a premium plan or you're not in a free trial, you'll probably see some errors saying that some plugins can't load. So from here, you have two options with the starter config. You can either sign up for the free trial, or you can disable the plugins that are premium only. Now at this point, I should also mention TinyMCE has over 12 framework integrations that let you include the editor within your app's framework, for example, React, Vue, and Angular. So if you want to check those out, Google TinyMCE integrations, and it'll bring you to our docs that lists all of the integrations. So there you go, you're all set with the TinyMCE CMS starter config. It's preloaded with lots of popular features, including Power Paste, which allows clean copy and paste from Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and other HTML sources. It's got Accessibility Checker to make sure whatever content your users are generating is compliant, and many other advanced features. So what's next? Now you can start playing with the config in your app. You'll see all the plugins that we've added here, and you can feel free to add and remove them as you need for your CMS, as well as play around with the toolbar and various other settings. The docs are a great place to get started to learn how all these work. You also want to configure your app to get and set content from TinyMCE so that it can be saved to your database. This blog article shows you how to get and set content with TinyMCE. I'll post a link in the description of the video. And if you get stuck, head over to Stack Overflow to post a question, or if you're on the free trial or premium plan, feel free to reach out to our support team. In coming videos, we'll dig into CMS rich text editing best practices and talk a bit more about the plugins included in the config. Good luck!